Instead of bad jokes, we'll do ellipses.
Why was 6 afraid of 7?
Because 7, 8, 9. Okay. That is a good, clean joke for math class.
Because it was a math joke.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know what I would classify that other joke as, besides poor. All right. This lesson is very easy, very short. And as I say, on Monday we get to the hard part of ellipses. Today we're going to do the easy part with no foci, with no focus in them. So an ellipse is an elongated circle. Yes, ma'am. Okay. An ellipse is an elongated circle. We will either orient them long horizontally. Oops, that's not quite an ellipse, so let me try that again. Or long vertically. That's a little better. We won't have them going off to the sides and stuff. So these will be the two ellipses that we're talking about. The ellipses have a center right there in the middle. They have vertices there's a couple of vertices that are on the long part. So here's a vertex, and here's a vertex. And they have on the short ends, on the short sides, that are going to be perpendicular to the axis that the vertex is on, are going to be these things we call co-vertices. So these points here are vertices, and these points on the shorter axis are co-vertices. The center is the center. Okay. So of course we're going to put them in the XY plane, and today we're going to put all of them centered, and Monday too, all of them will be centered at the origin. We're not going to move them around until we get a little better feel for these ellipses. So I might have one on the XY plane here. And I have a couple of other things to define here. We'll do foci on Monday. But I have through the long part, the line going through the long part is the major axis. The line going through the short part and through the center is the minor axis. So if I have oriented my ellipse vertically, then the major axis goes through the long part, and the minor axis goes through the short part. Now, my equation for my ellipse, centered at 0, 0, is x squared over some number a squared plus y squared over some number b squared is equal to 1. Now, A and B are going to be the distance from the center to the vertex and co-vertex. So, let me draw this one again. If my if my major axis is along the horizontal axis, and this is taking me out to the point 3 and negative 3, and up to the point 2 and negative 2, the A is the length from the center out to this vertex, out to the horizontal vertex. So that has an A of length 3. The B is the length from the center to the horizontal vertex here. So this one has a B of 2. And so the equation for this ellipse is x squared over 3 squared plus y squared over 2 squared equals 1. We don't usually write it that way. We usually write it as x squared over 9. We go ahead and square everything. Plus y squared over 4 equals 1. Now, if I orient mine vertically, it's not too tricky to do. So here's an ellipse. Let me say that it is 2 units wide and 10 units high. Well, if it's 2 units wide, I'm going from the center, 1 to the right and 1 to the left. So this 2 units wide actually sits between negative 1 and 1. And 10 units high, oh, well, that's going to sit between 5 and negative 5. So my A, and we like to leave our A's as the horizontal axis here. My A in this case is 1. My B in this case is 5. So its equation is x squared over a squared, 1 squared, plus y squared over 5 squared equals 1. So 1 squared is 1, x squared over 1 is x squared, so we usually write this one as x squared plus y squared over 25 equals 1.
The A is always the x-axis.
Yeah. Yeah, your book describes it a little bit different way where they switch around the A's and the B's all the time. We don't do that, and we don't do that in pre-cal. We teach it this way, that the A is always the horizontal and the B is always the vertical. Right, right. The B and we choose to just have the B and the A stay constant, and the major and minor to switch, and so that's the way we're doing it. The equations will turn out the same. It's just the way I prefer to teach it, and the other teachers. Yeah. Yeah. So that is simplified. That's the simplified equation. That is good. And I think that's it. It will get